Hello everyone, and welcome to a video that I feel like needs to be made. This is a part of a collaborative effort. Myself, as well as many other Star Wars YouTube channels, you may have heard of many of them. Their links will be down in the description below. We have decided to band together and make a collaborative video talking about the vintage collection. The fact that we love it, the fact that we want more of it, and the fact that we really want to support this line, show Hasbro that we love it still, and, hopefully they'll listen to us and maybe... Anyways, these are my top 10 figures I think they really should make here soon. So a lot of other people are doing like top 15. I just did top 10. I'm sorry. But yeah, the vintage collection is really special and really important to me. Unlike a lot of other Star Wars figure collectors, I did not, buy into 6-inch. Well, I did at the start, but I unbought out of the 6-inch Black Series, and I'm pretty much exclusively vintage collection besides Clone Troopers and 6-inch. I just don't feel the magic with the 6-inch Black Series. It just doesn't connect with me. It's not what the Star Wars figure collecting has been about in my life. It's always been about this scale, this world building that the 3¼ inch in the vintage collection offers. And for this video, I really just want to kind of show that, hey, there's still some figures I feel like they really need to make, and let's get on with it. So number 10, I'm only putting this guy at number 10 because I feel like he's already rumored, I think so, and he's a guy right in the middle. Return of the Jedi Palpatine. We need a new Return of the Jedi Palpatine very, very badly. He is rumored. We are rumored to get a new one, but we are definitely in need of a new one. I mean, this is the original vintage figure. It's iconic. It's absolutely iconic. I don't have his cane with him, unfortunately, but still, he's really cool. And unfortunately, there aren't a lot of nice options for a Return of the Jedi Palpatine. What I have for my main Palpatine, and excuse his pose, he's sitting on his throne in my shelf, is like that one Palpatine they did years ago with like the face, and I gave him the like the Force Link head sculpt. That's what I did for my Palpatine. And you can see the hood's kind of oddly shaped. It's not a very good hood. I think mine's actually torn in the middle. It's not a very good, we need an update. We need a new one. I mean, the fact that we have to kind of like kit bash one that's like half decent, it shows that we're really in need. And I'm hoping that the rumor for a new Return of the Jedi Palpatine does come true, because this is a character that's really crucial to the Star Wars universe. I wouldn't mind a Rise of Skywalker Palpatine at some point, but we need Return of the Jedi first. Alrighty, this video is, the list is kind of a mix of like some sequel trilogy stuff, some things I just want, and one thing I really want to emphasize. Before the vintage collection ends, they need to remake everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. I want them to remake Squidhead or Tessic. This is actually one of my only vintage figures that is complete, because I love this figure, I love this character, I love the Quarren species, and I really want a new one. This figure is just really nice, the original vintage one. I mean, it's already really cool with all the soft goods, but just imagine this, but like a yak face. It would look so good. Now, we did get a Tessic further down the road, but as you can see, he's definitely one of those like early 2000s Star Wars figures where he's like in this odd pre-pose. He's all plastic. They need to make a new Tessic. I'm really hoping they do, and I really feel like one of the biggest things with the vintage collection is that they need to remake all of the original vintage figures and give like, or if they already have remade it, put it on a vintage card back, because I don't feel like the vintage collection should end until that happens. So that's my number 9 spot. And then number 8, let's travel to the sequel trilogy and talk about the fact that I just want like more Kylo Ren, please. This is my like Black Series Kylo Ren, and I gave him a 5 POA unmasked head. There's so many different Kylo Rens they could do. They already did Force Awakens. We could have Last Jedi. We could have Rise of Skywalker. We could have Ben Solo. I really just want another Kylo Ren in vintage collection. He's my favorite sequel trilogy character. It sucks that I only really have one option for a super articulated Kylo Ren right now. And I mean, I do have an unmasked option here because I swapped the heads. But still, we have how many TVC Rays? We have like 3? Yeah, we have like 3 Vintage Collection Rays, and we only have 1 Kylo Ren. I'm hoping they do rectify that, because I feel like we need some more Kylo Ren. But that's just me, though. That's just me. And while we're talking about Kylo Ren, we might as well just go to this. Even Black Series collectors want them all. We need the Knights of Ren. I want to emphasize this, because Hasbro, if you're listening, we want the Knights of Ren. You don't have to release them all individually. I mean, we've already, for 3 3/4 inch and 6 inch collectors, we've already bought one. You can just, if you want to just re-release the one we've already bought and just release all of them in a big multi-pack, I think we'd be okay with that, as long as we got them all. I mean, it would suck I'd have 2 of the same guy, but I just think they're so cool. They were in The Force Awakens teased, and then they were fully in The Rise of Skywalker. Well, I say fully, but it was still a very minimal part. They were basically the Boba Fett of Rise of Skywalker. But still, back in the day, Hasbro, we would have already had the Knights of Ren. Back when it was around 2010 era, Hasbro was really on top of just making everybody. Like, let's make them all, put them in a big multi-pack, we'll get it done. But unfortunately, Hasbro nowadays, they're very cautious. They're very, like, oh, we need to see and wait to see how the initial one sells. Come on, Hasbro, you know they're going to sell. Look at them. This is... Come on. I'm trying to be positive. We need the Knights of Ren, Hasbro. We really do. So please give us the Knights of Ren. So that's that one. And then I'm starting to lose track of the count. Whatever, it's fine. Anyways, next up, let's go back to another vintage figure that needs a vintage collection update. 88. Excuse mine being yellowed. I already treated him in hydrogen peroxide and Clairol 40, but unfortunately, they re-yellow, and I don't know how to prevent that. So if you know that, please let me know. Anyways, yeah, 88. He's one of my absolute favorite vintage figures, as well as one of my absolute favorite childhood figures. Now, this isn't my childhood 88. My childhood one's pretty broken. I did end up re-getting him. But I love 88. I love his character design. I love the look of him, and he is a vintage Star Wars figure that is in need of an update. EV-99, too, especially since she reappeared in The Mandalorian, could very much use a vintage collection figure. But I'm just going to say 88 because I'm biased. But the thing is, they could already, they already have a basis to work on with 88. Because we got this guy. I want to say his name's BD something. Man, I can't remember the droid numbers all the time. It's like midnight when I'm filming this. But yeah, we already have a basis to go on. They could reuse this mold, give him like a new torso, maybe new crotch, new head, maybe legs that actually stay on. That would be nice. And yeah, we already have a pretty good basis to go on because they already gave us a more articulated kind of version of this, robot design. I'm hoping we do get a Vintage Collection 88 at some point, because we need every vintage figure on a card before the line ends. And once they do that, once they've got them all, I feel like it would be fair for them to end the Vintage Collection and reboot it as like Legacy Collection, something like that again. By then, it'll probably be like 50th anniversary. Ooh, we're going to be feeling old, man. Anyways, next up, let's go back to the new Disney movies. And I just want a Vintage Collection Saw Gerrera, damn it. I just think the character's so cool. This is honestly Hasbro's very best 5POA action figure, in my opinion. I think this is their very best. It looks the best. It has a lot of the coolest features. It's really nice. But we need a Vintage Collection one, man. They can make it like the alternate design where he doesn't have hair. They could give interchangeable heads if they want. But still, I would very much be down for a Saw Gerrera. They can make him from... the Jedi Fallen Order game. They could make them from Rebels. They'd probably make them from Rogue One, but I would very much like a Saw Gerrera in Vintage Collection. And honestly, I don't collect Black Series anymore, but Black Series has a very big Saw Gerrera hole on the shelf. At least us 3 3/4 inch guys have a Saw Gerrera. You guys don't even have a Saw Gerrera. So... yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Hasbro's been sleeping on this character, because he's really cool, and honestly, he's kind of iconic. He's one of the coolest characters from Rogue One. So, next up, I'm not even caring about keeping count anymore. Let's go back to the vintage stuff, and let's talk about a character that I don't even really have the original toy to show you. The Imperial dignitary. Yeah, here, let's show his buddies, because, you know, come on. Not a lot of people have the original dignitary because it's very expensive, but it is an original vintage Star Wars figure that needs an update. I'm surprised they haven't done it. I mean, they made a Dalte Dauphine in Vintage Collection. They made Brock Starsher. You know, we should get the Imperial dignitary. It would sell because it's an original classic figure. And, I mean, we already have two guys you can go with. These are, you know, more older figures. But we don't need updates of these guys. Hasbro doesn't need to go back and update every single older figure they've ever done. I feel like what they need to really focus on for Vintage Collection is some newer media, like The Mandalorian, filling in some important character holes, maybe updating a few figures here and there. I feel like we need a New Hope Leia. I kind of selected these card backs for specific reasons. And, we need revamps of original vintage characters, and the Imperial Dignitary is a really big, important one. So I'm hoping Hasbro does that. I'm really hoping, man. I'm really hoping. Alrighty, we have a few more left. This was not in any particular order, by the way. I really can't put this in any order, except number 1 is my number 1. This is the only 6-inch figure I'm going to be showing here. We need some of these troopers, man. I feel like we really need a lot of the troopers from the newer movies and the newer shows in Vintage Collection. I do not have the 5 POA Patrol Trooper, and I really want to get it, but I'm also very much hoping that we get a Vintage Collection version. There I go, smacking the camera. But yeah, we don't have a Mud Trooper in TVC. We don't have a Patrol Trooper in TVC. There's a few others we don't have. We don't have, like, the Rebels Jet Trooper. We don't have the Battlefront Shock Trooper. We don't have the red Stormtrooper, like that Crimson Stormtrooper that was really, like, cool but also odd that they did years ago. And even First Order guys. We don't have a TVC Snow Trooper, TIE Pilot. You know, we do have a Sith Jet Trooper, but not a normal Jet Trooper. I am hoping that Hasbro focuses more on troopers for Vintage Collection, because troopers sell. That's one thing about troopers. Troopers sell. I'm kind of surprised that the Range Trooper didn't sell as well as, you know, other troopers did, because I remember the Black Series one even pig-warmed for a while. But people love troopers. I love troopers. I love troopers so much that sometimes I still buy them in 6-inch if they haven't done them in 3/4 inch by then. But yeah. I really, really hope that Hasbro gets on that. It's kind of funny, like, this video is supposed to be, like, showing, hey, we all love Vintage Collection, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, Hasbro, you better do this. I want you to do this now. Anyways, number 2. Oh, man, where's our Hammerhead? Where's our TVC Hammerhead, man? We are in need of a TVC Hammerhead. Hammerhead is an icon in the original Vintage line. He is one of the most cool and iconic characters. And he is in desperate need of a Vintage Collection figure. We did get one. We did get a modern figure, but when I say modern, I mean it's kind of 14 years old, so it's pretty old. I mean, it does look good. It does look like a good figure. It is a good figure, but it's basically 5 POA. That's basically what it is. It looks great, but imagine a new Hammerhead, but like yak face. I said that about Tessic, and I'm going to say that about Hammerhead. What if we had one that's like a yak face? Because, oh my gosh, the new yak face is so perfect. It's so perfect. And if we could get this guy updated in Vintage Collection, that would be one of the most superb releases Hasbro's ever done. And also, the species is really cool, and I'm sure people would customize the hell out of that figure and make, like, Hammerhead aliens and other cool stuff. You know, and Jedi and things like that. That would be so cool. And like the one from Rebels that has like the speaker thing in his gill parts. That would be cool. But yeah, definitely need a new Hammerhead. I think he's one of the more crucial characters from the original Vintage run that really needs an update. So the last one is very much 100% a personal desire. This is a personal one for me. Because this is one of the few figures that Hasbro canceled. One of the few ones that they have shown and never released. There's very few instances of Hasbro showing a 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure and never releasing it. Phase 1 Captain Rex. We do not have this Vintage Collection Phase 1 Captain Rex. We very much need this. And I really do want to speak on this a little bit because it shows that This figure was going to come out in that Legacy Collection Build-A-Droid line, right? That's where he was originally going to come out. However, when that was kind of starting to be rolled out, Disney bought the brand, and there was this massive shift in like the direction that the whole line was going in. Black Series was introduced, 5 POA was introduced. Vintage Collection was, very much still canceled. But the thing is, this Captain Rex was one of the casualties of that shift. A lot of the other figures, were released, but this Captain Rex was not. And I feel like this is just an instance of, hey, Hasbro, we do still very much pay attention to the things that we want. And Hasbro did listen, but they pulled a Mattel on us. If you don't remember Mattel, we wanted a Red Hood figure. Like, come on, give us Red Hood. And they gave us the design that no one wanted. They re-released this Captain Rex. They re-released the Phase 2 Black Series one. So that's something. Not a horrible figure, not the best figure. But I feel like if we got a Vintage Collection Rex in the Captain Fordo mold, that would be perfect. And I think everyone would love that. Come on, Phase 1 Captain Rex is iconic. Phase 2 is a little more iconic these days, especially after Season 7. But, come on, we very much need that Captain Rex. So, I just knocked over a dignitary. Awesome. Anyways, I just want to speak a little bit about the Vintage Collection and what it means to me. I've been there since the beginning of Vintage Collection, when the original Empire Strikes Back wave came out. And I almost have every single TVC figure. I only have a couple exceptions. I don't have the Jocasta Nu, and I don't have the Dr. Aphra. And I don't have a few other exclusives. That's pretty much it. Other than that, I pretty much have them all. I really do. I really love this line. I've kept all of my card backs from the figures that I got in the package. There were a few that I had to get loose, unfortunately. But I love this line. This line and 3 3/4 inch Star Wars collecting means a lot to me. Even though some other lines have kind of taken my attention away, it's not because I still don't love this stuff. It's because I feel like Hasbro's sort of straying away from their golden child, the thing that everyone loves, and the thing that, we hold very near and dear. I don't know if there's specific company reasons why the Vintage Collection isn't as prominent as it should be. I made a video years and years ago talking about the return of the Vintage Collection and why it might not be the greatest. And unfortunately, a lot of my fears did come true. The distribution is still not that good. I doubt I will ever see Mandalorian in the stores. There's still not enough. The quantity that they produce isn't nearly as great as it used to be. I remember Waves used to have like almost 10 figures in them. Now they're maybe like 2 or 4. And the Waves are more spread out. We don't get as much as we used to. And I feel like it's because Hasbro's trying to do too many things at once. I've talked about it before, but I feel like Hasbro, if they really focus more of their attention on the Vintage Collection and what we love and what we really care about, especially us, OG Star Wars collectors. The Black Series has its place. It should not go away. But unfortunately, the Black Series is taking away from the Vintage Collection. And that's unfortunate. I'm not jealous of things that get released in Black Series that we don't get in TVC, because sometimes we get things in TVC that they don't get in Black Series. But I feel like it should be pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 Black Series for one TVC for 1 Black Series. That's how I would love it to be. I think that would work. I think they would sell, because Black Series has just as many horrible peg warmers as TVC does. So, just saying. But yeah, I love this line. It really means a lot to me. And Hasbro, if you're listening, we care. We love Star Wars. We want more. And with that being said, I've been rambling on long enough. Please check out everyone else's videos, as well as the collaboration video featuring everybody's, little snippets and things that will be posted. I believe it's going to be on Sith Lord 229's channel. He will post the big collaboration, the big message to Hasbro. And from that video, you can watch all of our individual videos. So yeah, there's TVC. I love it. And it's kind of like that. that child that you've watched grow up, and now they're, you know, kind of off doing their own thing, and they're not really... You want them back. You want them back. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know vintage collection figures you would love to see. And that's pretty much it. Have a good day, guys, and may the Force be with you. Bye.